Item 9, Councillor Alden.
Thank you, Chair. The report before you on page 47 seeks the Cabinet approval to endorse an employment land memorandum of understanding which is set out in Appendix A, which is on page 50. And subsequently then for you as the leader of the Council to sign the document on behalf of the Equality Chair. The MOU has been drafted as part of steps to meet the requirements of the duty to cooperate in terms of ensuring the employment needs of the sub-region as a whole are met. Table 1 of the report highlights that there is a need to accommodate at least 714 hectares of employment land in Coventry and Warwickshire in the period up to 2031. Coventry is however unable to accommodate 241 hectares within their city boundary. Therefore, Warwickshire authorities have been asked to assist in meeting this shortfall. Table 1 of the report highlights that in addition to the 87 hectares that we've already identified to meet our own needs in Nuneaton and Bedworth, it will also look to take an additional 26 hectares as part of the redistribution. I think it's worth noting as well, Chair, that if it is demonstrated through ongoing work on the borough plan that this level of growth cannot be accommodated, there are clauses in the MOU which will prompt a review of these figures. So it's not a done deal. The MOU was approved by the Coventry, Warwickshire and Hinckley and Bosworth Joint Committee on the 21st of July of this year, whereas it was agreed that it would go to each individual council to approve, hence why it's coming to Cabinet tonight, Chair. If there are any questions on that, Kelly, I think Kelly's at the back of the room, and Ian as the director is here as well.
Thank you very much. Two speakers on this, Councillor Golby, Councillor Condarker. Councillor Golby first.
Most of what I want to say has just been covered, but the employment land review, the purpose of the agenda item is to seek the Cabinet approval of the employment land memorandum of understanding, the need that's generated by the significant shortfall of employment land in Coventry. We as a borough are required to take on 26 hectares for redistribution from Coventry in addition to the 87 hectares of employment land that we require to meet the borough's own needs. Work is currently being undertaken to confirm whether there's a capacity for the borough to accommodate this, and as per the item, it says that this will be demonstrated within the borough plan when published in January 2017. In Appendix 1.3, Table 1, it's agreed that Nuneaton and Bedworth need 87 hectares of employment land. Point 3.3, Table 2, it's agreed that, although it's to be confirmed that the Nuneaton and Bedworth should take the 26 hectares of redistributed employment land from Coventry, taking the minimum local plan employment provision to 113 hectares. Point 4.5.4 refers to the report Unemployment and Urban Regeneration, the Atkins report to 2014, which analyses which part of the sub-regions have the greatest need for employment, and not surprisingly that point 4.5.6 confirms that Nuneaton and Bedworth are near the top of the list. With the latest available data showing for that Nuneaton and Bedworth has the highest unemployment rate in the sub-region, or one of the highest unemployment rates, should I say. Point 4.5.7 confirms that according to the English Indices of Deprivation, Nuneaton and Bedworth are one of the only local authorities in the Coventry and Warwickshire region that are ranked amongst the 50% most deprived in England, with point 4.5.8 stating the Atkins report therefore concludes that the consideration of population growth, unemployment rates and deprivation levels suggests that the greatest areas of need in Coventry and Warwickshire are Coventry, Nuneaton and Bedworth and North Warwickshire. So that's come from the report itself. All this being said, and with the need to find further employment land to lift Nuneaton and Bedworth out of the 50% most deprived areas in England, what's the council's view on using existing employment land for other things, say for example a car park, or either directly or indirectly allowing areas of employment land to become unviable for the landowners to be able to use the employment land as they intend to use it, and is required by this council to fulfil our obligations of employment land.
Sorry, you can't ask questions at Cabinet, you just make a point.
Oh, well, there you go, there's
Right.
the point.
Thank you. Any questions to Councillor Golby? No. Thank you very much. Councillor Kondaka.
Thank you, Chair. This redistribution of employment land is quite different to redistribution of housing. We got a ridiculous amount of housing suggested to be put on us, 14,000 in total, maybe 16,000, who knows, when the borough is suffering from a lack of jobs. The 80-odd hectares we've got already is not being used. Our new developments are Honda Barrett, and I think that's it. We've developed nothing in the borough significantly for many years, and we have large stockpiles of land that need the borough plan to actually allocate them for housing. The whole borough is a total mess in terms of economic development. The economic development and planning policy team have lost most of their staff over the last 4 years. The borough plan keeps getting delayed repeatedly, and we don't have all the right elements in place to create jobs. We talked about the growth fund letting us down earlier. We have so many things against us. We're losing population. The working age population in the last 4 years has dropped by 2,000. People are going to live in Stratford and places to work in the JLRs. People are going to work all over the place. But they're not staying in Nuneaton to work. We're not using the employment land we've got. This is all predict and provide, when actually the reality is we aren't getting the jobs in the borough. We aren't getting the economic development, and we aren't looking after our town centres and our existing employment sites. We also have so many issues with access to education. Yeah, people go to university at various places, really good universities quite close, and they're not coming back to Nuneaton and Bedworth. So I think we need to actually make the place work, actually get our employment sites active now, and stop all this pipe dream about 12,000 jobs in the future. The site that Claire was talking about, Bermuda, we're going to build a railway station car park on what will be prime employment land. That site is brilliant now for employment. Railway station, you can have 2 trains an hour, Griff roundabout. How can you not use that to create 200 jobs? Why stick a railway station car park on there? Yeah, we need to be smarter. We need to stop towing this line of let's build more stations, build more roads. We need to build jobs urgently, because we're not using the land we've got, and we're not developing a credible plan for the future. We have a brain drain. Yeah, we need to stir things up. We need investment, and we need to get the LEP working for us rather than the LEP building roads so we're actually cheap employment elsewhere. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any questions to Councillor Kondaka? Thank you. Well, this report before us has been as a result of lengthy negotiations. Of course, employment land will, in actual fact, provide jobs within the borough, and so it is something that I should be quite happy if the Cabinet agrees to be signing this Memorandum of Understanding, and then it doesn't commit us in the end, in that in terms of the borough plan, if we cannot find this land, then we're not obliged to take land, space we cannot find. But I would like to echo some of the more positive comments that have been made in recent weeks, such as from the Chief Executive Officer of Holland and Barrett, who are currently expanding their operations in Nuneaton, and can be seen quite clearly just adjacent to the George Eliot Hospital, where they are expanding what are their actually international headquarters in Nuneaton, and the Chief Executive Officer is extremely happy to endorse Nuneaton and Bedworth as the borough in which to centre such activities, along with several other people in similar positions and in similar company headquarters in our borough. And it's the successes of our borough that we should be championing, and if we can attract more businesses of that nature, that's what we are trying to do, and what we shall welcome. So I'm proposing the report in front of us, and that we agree that I sign this. Yes, all in favour? Thank you very much.